So it's been a while since I last posted a video. Been really busy with working at home, but I have managed to do a few more bits on my locomotive that I wanted to do. So in this video I'm just going to show you what I've done. Starting with cylinders, which originally I liked them in brass, but then of course, me being me, I've changed my mind and decided to paint them black. So I took the cylinders and the valve chest off, cleaned it, keyed it with sandpaper, and then painted it with etching primer, and then Simonized satin tough black, which is, I find, good paint. It stands heat quite well. So I'll show a photo on screen of that painted, but both of them being painted. So I think they look better and more scale. I've also, you can see, I've changed the screws to hex head bolts, which look far better. I've painted the ones in the front because where I got them from, you see that on screen, got them from Spalding Fasteners, and they're really good for getting bolts and stuff. I got all the bolts that I've changed over on my locomotive because these were screws as well. Not that one, but these ones here, and this one I got from Spalding Fasteners. But they sent me a pack of 20, and 10 of them had this sort of recess in them, and 10 of them were flat. So I painted these ones, but I quite like how the flat ones looked, so I've left them in their original finish. Of course, they're stainless steel, and they'll be easier to work on. Then cheese head screws. And while I was on their website ordering up, I also ordered up some M3 Allen key bolts to go in the smoke box plate, which is far easier to take on and off than trying to get a screwdriver in it, slip in and chewing up the head and marking the paint. Whereas you get the ball end of a Allen key, it's a bit easier, especially these ones back here. So I've done that, and then also had time to finally make up the reach rods or linkages for the sandboxes, DJB engineering sandboxes, which was quite a job to do. I ordered up 2mm square brass bar and 1.5mm square brass bar, because I didn't know which size would look best, and the 1.5 looked the best, didn't look oversized, especially being painted black. But of course I couldn't drill 1.5 for a 12BA bolt, too small. So what I had to do in the end was cut off a short length of 2mm and silver solder it to the 1.5mm. And then I could drill, and then I actually silver soldered a 12BA nut on the bottom of the reach rod, and then threaded the arm on the sandbox. So then when I did up the 12BA bolt, it pinched them up quite tight, and of course it was a lot of to and froing from the belt sander to get them to the right length, because I didn't want to drill a hole in the cab, in the front of the cab, and of course being square, you know, small square, you wouldn't been able to make a square hole. So it would have been an oversized round hole. So what I did was measure it, cut it nearly to length, and then backwards and forwards until it was a nice fit. Now, bolting it up here and then bending the rod slightly, and then putting it into about the right place and letting it spring back out, and it will go nice and tight up against the cab. But I found with steaming, obviously, the heat, the brass saddle tank expanded, so they became a bit loose. So what I did was mask off around it and then use black silicone underneath with a cocktail stick, and then once that dried I went over it with black paint, and that has kept them both in place. But I think it looks far better with the reach rods on there. It's the job I've been meaning to do for ages. So yeah, I've got a few bits done in between being really busy, but there we go. The cylinders definitely look better black. I would take these off to show you, but it's a bit fiddly with this pipe here, but I'll show you on a photo I took on screen of what it looked like again. But yeah, nice paint, and it's actually quite cheap from Amazon. It's cheaper than a lot of paints. So, and I've also painted that in satin, Simonized satin black. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. And put a bit over a little bit, you're gonna see, going quite level. Of course, on the sound boxes, being a left hand and right hand casting, they're not perfect. So that was quite a challenge, but they are pretty much bang on the same each side. But yeah, they look far better with the reach rods on there now. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.